Hey everyone, Zach here, and welcome to Lesson 15 of this series, Learning C++ by Making Games. This video is the final video for our first game, and therefore we will be finishing our number guesser completely. The next section will cover Hangman, and we'll begin that in the next video, of course. This video and this series has been brought to you by my sponsors from Patreon like Nemian Games and Archaic Methods. That said, open up your project and let's finish our number guessing game. Alright, so we're going to first do our pseudocode together for our third iteration of this project. And in this version, we're keeping everything we already have. We're changing the max of our guess, or of our favorite number, from 1 to 10 to 1 to 100. And we are going to give hints to the player if they're near the favorite number, and being near is equal or less than 5. So to start, I'm going to take my old pseudocode. I'm just going to copy this over and paste it down here. So we're changing this now to 1 to 100. And I said we want to update this, and we're going to say 1. We're going to tell the player that the number is 1 to 100. So make sure to tell the player it's 1 to 100. And in here, what we're going to do, and in our while loop, we're going to create a new variable. I'm just going to put some spacing in so I can know where everything's going to go. And it will be a declare difference between values. And we'll set the difference between values to be equal to the absolute of the favorite number minus the guessed number. Let me just get that right. Favorite number minus guessed number. And in here, we're going to do another else if difference between values, I just noticed the extra space up there, is equal to or less than 5, display that the guessed number, or sorry, that the guess, we're not going to put the number in, was close but not quite right. Display guess again, get guessed number. And then else if difference between values is greater than 5, display that the guess was not close, display guess again, and get guessed number. Now, there is going to be one more thing I'm going to do. I'm not going to pseudocode it. I want to show you a bug first. So that is the pseudocode we are going to do. I'm going to show you a couple of bugs. In fact, I'm going to make a few mistakes as we go through this to show you things you can do to make things better. So let's just minimize that, and let's just start by updating our random number here so that we are now changing it to 1 to 100. And let's add in our difference between values. So we'll do it in here, and that will be an int difference between values, and I'm going to initialize it as 0. If I can put the semicolon in the right spot. And then I'm going to reassign that value as std absolute. So this is how you get the absolute function, if you remember. Favorite number minus guessed number. And it's not different values, different between values. There we go. And I put the extra u in there by mistake. These are not the mistakes I was talking about. So this sets difference. I'm going to actually use the proper name between values to the absolute of favorite number minus guessed number. All right, so now that we've done that, we can put in our else's. So what we'll do is else if difference between values is less than or equal to 5, we will do an std cout. You are very close, but not quite right. Try again. Std end line. And then std cin, guessed number. And we'll do one more, else if difference between values is greater than 5, std cout. You are nowhere near close. Try again. std end line, std cin, guessed number. All right, now there is a problem with this, and I hope this test will show that problem. So let's just run this through. All right, so you can see what the favorite number is going to be. It's going to be 39. So just try every number. So 0 is less than 1, that's what we wanted. And let's try 5. 5 is nowhere near close. So try again. Let's try something that's close. Let's try 38. Oh, wait. Okay, 38 is greater than 10. So that's one of the problems. We need to update this. Well, we also then need to update this as well. But there's an easier, maybe probably smarter way to do this. Because if we change this number, then we need to change everything else. So what we can do instead, and this is one of the things I didn't put in the pseudocode, is we can create a value that we use in place of it. So we can do constant, so something that never changes, integer, max value, name doesn't really matter, I'm just going to name it max value, 100. And then we can set this to max value. So whenever we change this, that will change. And then we can change this text here to max value. Put in our quote. Also make sure we have the carets there as well. So now we'll display the right amount. We can do the same down here. Max. Oh, I put the carets on the wrong side there. Max value. And then we'll do the same right over here. Put another quote in, put our carets, max value. And we'll change that down here as well. Max value. So now whenever we update this, and I'll show you how that works in a moment, everything else will update too. I think I have all of them. Let's just do a control search for 10. I didn't get all of them, clearly. Sorry about that. So the one I missed is this one right here. We need to change this to max value as well. All right, now that should work. So between 1 and 100, or less than 100, and I forgot a space, so let's go put that space in before we go further. There we go. All right. So it's between 1 and 100. It's actually not less than. It is between 1 and 100. Let's get the wording there right. All right, so 36. Let's do something that's above 100. Let's do something above 10 just real quick. 11's above 10. Let's do 0. So our check is still working. Now let's do something that is a valid number. I already did a valid number, 11. We're nowhere near close. We did 0, which is an invalid number. Let's do something above 100, which is another invalid number. And let's try something nearby. So it's 5 numbers away. So 31, you're very close, but not quite right. 36, it works. Now let's take a look at a bug real quick. We're going to look at 2. Instead of entering a number, I'm going to enter the letter, a random letter, so F. And you see we have this loop. It's just going to keep infinitely looping until it crashes. And if I do something else, like 2.2, we get the same issue. So let's resolve that. And the way we're going to resolve that is we're going to do a simple check. And this is the other thing I didn't pseudocode in. So I want you to pause and attempt to see if you can work out the logic for this. And this one is actually a bit tricky. And I'll tell you, it took me quite a bit of time to work out how to do. So if you can't work it out, that's fine. I will tell you there are commands using the IO stream that we haven't used yet that you will need to use to get this to work. And if you're not up for trying, just keep watching. But I'm going to pause the video here and let you try to solve this yourself first. All right, welcome back. So what we're going to do first to check for our character is we're going to actually change this to our second part of our if statement. I'm going to have an if before this. And what we're going to do is if guessed number is not true. So if you enter an invalid entry here, because it's expecting an integer, so if you enter a character, what's going to happen, it's going to go, well, that's not a valid thing. So this isn't true. It's not valid. So this will return true, and this will also be true as well, because there's something valid here. Something not valid will not be equal to our favorite number. And we will then say, well, we'll first then have to do, and this is what you needed to look up, we'll need to clear the input so that the computer doesn't get confused, and then we'll need to ignore, sorry, there is a mistake there, that should be cin.clear. So this clears the input. We'll then need to ignore about 1,000, actually, let's say 10,000 characters, and we need to go down a line. So we'll use the /n for that. So what we've done here is we've ignored the input, we've cleared it, and we're ignoring 10,000 characters and going down a line in our input. And then we will do a cout and say that is a character, and characters, actually there shouldn't be a comma there, and characters are not valid numbers. We'll do an std end line, and then we will tell them to enter a valid number. So cout, I'm not sure why I put count there, cout, please guess, not guess, please guess a valid integer. And then we'll do another std end line, and we will look for a valid, I don't know if I keep entering W when I do that, for a valid entry. So now if we run this, we see 8 as our number. Let's check 0, let's check 101, let's check 20, and let's check 7. So we have all that working. Now let's put in F. And you see now it says that is a character, and characters are not valid numbers, or not valid numbers. Please guess a valid integer. So let's put in 4.4. And you notice now we have 2 bugs. We get that's close, because that's within 5 of 8. And we also get that's a character, and characters are not valid numbers. Please enter an integer. So what's happened here is it's read 4, and then it's read the dot, or the full stop, or a decimal, however you want to think of it. It's read both of these. So it's running this part of the loop, and it's running this part of the loop as well, or part of our conditional statements. So what we need to do is actually turn this value, our guessed number, into a float. And even then, we need to check something. Because if we put a float in, what's going to happen is, say we put F in, it's not a valid number, we put 60 in, or 61. It's probably 66.6. You're very close, but that's not quite right. It's still accepting the float. So now we need to get rid of the float. And the way we're going to do that is we are going to create another check. And what we're going to do here is we're going to declare a new variable and initialize it. And it will be int check value. And we're going to use the float version of a modular operator, which is fmod. So fmod is the same as this here, except for it's for floats. And we'll do guessed number times 10, 10. It's the argument that has to be passed through. And if this value is not equal to 0, then we have a floating point number. If it is equal to 0, then the number is an integer. So we can do else if check value is not equal to 0. And we'll put in this, and we'll do another stdcin.clear. We'll do another ignore 10,000 characters. Go down a line. And we will do std. I keep doing the W thing. I don't know why I'm doing that today. Sorry about that. std cout. Get the carrots in the right direction. You have entered a floating number that is not a valid integer. std end line. std cout. Please guess a valid integer. std end line. And then we'll do std cin guessed number. All right, let's test this, make sure this works. And it's 27 we're aiming for, so you do 27.7. You have entered a floating number. This is not a valid number. Please enter a valid integer. Let's try Bob. This is a character, and characters are not valid. Please enter a valid number. And the reason why we've used this ignore 1,000 is, well, even though we've cleared the input, we have more than one character there. We have 3. Let's try 21, 22, and 27. And you see the code is now working. We now have a functional game. So you know what we should do? We should remove this line here. All right, that takes us through our very first game in C++. Congratulations on making it this far. In the next section, we'll begin working on our Hangman game. And we'll do Hangman in this very procedural way, like we did here, but then when we iterate it, we will look at creating our own functions. And we'll explore functions as we iterate through our Hangman game. That said, if you've enjoyed making your first game and finishing it out, go ahead and hit that like button down below. And consider subscribing and hitting that notify icon so you know when our Hangman game is out. That said, I look forward to seeing you in the next section of this tutorial, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.